Hello, internet friends. My name is Bay. Welcome back to the Shadowlands Alpha and the first pass, first impressions coverage for the Beast Mastery Hunter. Yes, it's a mecha gnome on the thumbnail, but it's a regular gnome on the inside. I don't know. If you have a problem with the gnome, I guess you can turn the video off. But if you don't, because they are the superior hunter race, because they can tame mechanical pets, even if mechanical pets don't matter, and I'll get more of that in this video, especially for Beast Mastery, then I don't know what to tell you. But there is obviously a bit of a community meme that has been propagated for quite some time about how Beast Mastery is. I mean, it is a easy spec to pick up. It is definitely not an easy spec to play appropriately at the higher levels. There is definitely some nuance to it. There are some gearing choices that lead to rolling the spec in the proper direction to make it flow properly. It is an easier spec, and as a bit of the joke is that, oh, there's 3 buttons. Sure, it also can have ridiculous button bloat, which doesn't feel good either. But we'll go through that and more, and all of the changes that the Beastmaster Hunter has in store, even if it's not complete. More on that, of course, as we get into this one throughout the entirety of my gobbledygook that I will spew out to you right here. But if you want the entire testing VOD, if you would like the dungeon video, which I went in the dungeon and did it with Moofzy and Wordup, and we talked a lot about stuff here and there, and there's a bit of a powwow session after that. Links are all in the video description box down below on my channel guide, or linked directly therein. But also, if you would like to support what I do here in a more physical sense instead of being digitally, which I appreciate you hanging out here on the channel, of course, then down below you will also find a link to my merch store, which Pikachu is covered in it right now, but he's kind of obfuscated by my microphone, which is kind of a is that trying to sell something about Blizzard and these tooltips that are on the Beastmaster Hunter class? But wearing the Azerite Day shirt. All these are put together from different community artists that get to make some awesome merch. This is the Azerite Day shirt, sort of inspired by the Gorillaz Demon Days album cover, if you are familiar with that one. And there's a whole bunch of other designs you can customize, different colors, different cuts of shirts, different fabrics, different hoodies, sweatshirts, tank tops, whatever, you name it. Links down below if you'd like to support the whatever this is that I do on the internet. And I appreciate you if you do. But just hanging out here and being with the content as it rolls out is also something I appreciate greatly. Now, I have a spirit beast. I had to go grab one specifically for testing here for many reasons. But let's go through all the base stuff here. Let's rattle off some things on my notes. So, baseline hunter additions. Arcane Shot. Right out the gate, it's part of the leveling experience for you as a hunter. In Shadowlands, you are a hunter until level 10. You don't have a spec. Then you get to pick a spec at 10. You then learn Cobra Shot at level 17 or so, and that takes over because of Cobra Shot's innate ability to sync up with Kill Command. Arcane Shot for a higher level hunter, just forget about it. Forget about it. It's not going to be a thing. It may have Torghast powers. No idea. But for the overall, not a thing. Eyes of the Beast is coming back to you, but currently is NYI. That's pretty cool. Hunter's Mark is back, which it's Moofzy talked about it a bit in the dungeon run. It's 5% additional damage from you and your pet to one target. It does not buff other hunters. Any amount of hunter's marks can be on a target. They all buff each individual hunter. It is a hasted GCD, so it's a 0.75 seconds to move it around to change what target you put it on. It is a magic debuff, so it can be dispelled in PvP. It is not the talented version, however, so there is no focus synergy with it at all. It's just 5% damage to the marked target. There are, of course, a whole slew of amazing macros within the Wowhead guide. There's also even more macros for pet-oriented stuff and hunter's marky kind of things on Petopia. So both awesome resources that I'm sure you already have bookmarked or you know about if you are a hunter. But if you don't know, there is other sections of the Wowhead guides that have great, huge slews of macros you can use for different pet-oriented nonsense, which I'll get into the pet macroing, pet attack stuff here. Don't get it too ahead of me. But Hunter's Mark, we made a pretty simple one that starts your pet attack, and then obviously will cast if you're changing targets. It'll cast if it's up the basic attack on your pet, and then of course cast Hunter's Mark. So my pet's gonna waddle over here real quick though. Where is he? There he is. He'll move faster, of course, with kill command. But if you're in combat, blasting away as you do, and then get to change targets and change your Hunter's Mark, you can do so with a quick little macro there and move your pet as well. So that is going to be something you can find useful, but hunters are no stranger to the macroing and hunter abilities and those kind of things. But that's just a simple one that we made on the stream today just to test. So other things that are coming back. Kill shot. This is pretty fun. Kill shot does a lot of damage. A whole lot of damage. Physical damage, of course, so it's reduced by armor. 10-second cooldown, 10 focus, only usable below 20% health. And I can't show it specifically here. We'll run down to find some regular mobs. It has, I don't remember if it's the old animation. It's the arrow that has the sound wave circles around it. And it just goes like shunk, makes a very straightforward noise. We'll go grab this where is it? This butterfly over here, maybe? Let's see. There's also a moose down here, or a unicorn. There's a unicorn. Look at my pet. You're not gonna make this jump, are you? Do what you won't. Haha. Get over there. Hunter's Mark. Where are you going? Oh my gosh. Pet AI, by the way. But kill shot. And the one thing that I was told, doink, there it is. The one thing about kill shot and bringing it back into the overall rotation for Hunter, A, having your execute is great. B, of course, will sync up with, big red pet because you're going to do more damage, and then your kill shot's going to do more damage, blah, blah, blah. Is Moofzy was saying mouse over kill shot is going to be a little bit of an extra skill cap for the Hunter in general, where you can just, if you know other mobs are low, just squeak in a kill shot here and there. Because it's so cheap, you can do mouse over macros to mouse over kill shot other targets. Obviously, you might not have your Hunter's Mark on them, which you could if you really wanted to. You could make that a thing. But obviously, you'd have to double tap that button because of the 0.75 second GCD, because of how kill shot, because Hunter's Mark interacts in that regard. But it was pretty good. I had some pretty chunky kill shots in the dungeon earlier today, and it felt fine. Stuff in a normal dungeon doesn't live long enough to get multiple kill shots off, but obviously the additional damage benefit of rolling through higher health mobs in raids, you will see benefit from the kill shot there. Next up, there is, I said before, yeah, Hunter's Mark does increase you and your pet's damage. That we confirmed that today. The other part of Hunter's Mark, however, is that the target can always be seen and tracked by the hunter. So this goes through Night Elf Shadow Meld. You can also watch Feral Druids or Rogues walk around while stealth if you have this on them beforehand. It's also a magic debuff, like I said before, can be dispelled by healers. This, when a rogue vanishes, it didn't go away, but they can cloak to remove it for the purposes of tracking things in stealth. Also, when you have things Hunters marked, let's run up here. When you have things Hunters marked, you also have them tracked on your map. So you see right here, this is a neutral target. It becomes a yellow dot. If it was an aggro target, it'd be a little red dot on the mini map. So you can always track it in that regard. That's just how trackers work, right? But that's what it, when I did it in the, when it's doing it in the dungeon, or when I was doing it in PvP combat, it was showing up as a red mark. Scare Beast is also back. This is going to work on bear, travel, and cat form druids, as you'd expect. It, however, does not work on Moonkin. And, of course, will work on any other beast that you may want to scare that is a beast. And Tranquilizing Shot is baseline. The side note of this is the exotic hunter family of spirit beasts, as I currently have sitting next to me, no longer has spirit shock. Nothing has replaced spirit shock yet. It is just removed. And you, the hunter, have Tranquilizing Shot, which is actually just a warlock hand. Boink. It removes 1 magic and 1 enrage effect on a 10-second cooldown, instant 40-yard range, doesn't cost you anything. Of course, is normally on the standard GCD. But not only can you, it basically is, it's still purge and the enrage remove. This works on, it does not remove druid berserks. They're not enrages, but any, of course, magic effect or heal over time spell or something like that, like predatory swiftness or anyone else that puts up a magic style effect would remove it. It will remove warrior berserker's rage and the enrage from fury warriors. When you have enrage effects in the default UI, dispellable effects have the glowing border. You'll see the borders of those glowing, and you can trank shot those to remove them. There was a conversation that came up in chat today about hunter utility. There's no debuff, right? And a lot of the times you're using a tenacity pet for your survivability because Spirit Mend and the tenacity pet buff is huge endurance training. So you don't have Lust because Lust is only on ferocity pets. You have Trank Shot now. You can always dispel something every 10 seconds. And of course you have traps. Now, this is not going to be something that many hunters might, well, I have traps, big deal. I could slow things and trap things. CC is going to be a big deal with AoE caps. You might not want to pull 8 mobs. You might want to pull 4 or 5. You might want to actually CC some things. There's no reason to not do that because it makes your pulls more efficient. If you pull 10 mobs and everyone's doing reduced damage or everyone's doing only damage to 5 to 8 mobs, then you have mobs that are going to be taking a far less amount of damage, making your AoE rotations and those bigger pulls much longer than if you go through packs of mobs, say in a Mythic Plus dungeon, for example, and you're always hitting every mob efficiently. So little things there, of course, but a lot of it comes down to the pet argument about why doesn't just any pet have Primal Rage? Could be a thing they could add across the board. They did take away Spirit Shock from Spirit Beast. They just lost an ability. Being an exotic pet, of course, has that hook only for Beast Mastery. So I don't know yet. And let's see. There's also a note that Blizzard put in the initial blue post coming out when the giant water cooler that there is going to be a stable size increase for the hunter in general. There is no quoted amount, but there was some chat discussion today saying that it was potentially 2 pages or a 30% increase or 20 slots somewhere in there. Now, before I get into some minutiae stuff, let's bring up a picture for you because this is alpha and many things are not hooked up properly. As you'll also notice in the spell book, there are no additional ranks of spells. If you've been following along with the coverage, there's usually a 52, 54, 56, and 58 additional rank of something. There was some cool ideas being thrown around in chat today. Maybe Barbed Shot will get a 3rd stack as one of those ranks. That'd be pretty nice. Maybe Barbed Shot will actually just, do on-hit damage, and maybe they'll let it actually stack up to 3 times on a single target, because right now it doesn't do any of that, but that's a totally different topic, blah, blah, blah. So this is not hooked up yet. So here's a picture for you. Can you spot what's wrong with this picture real quick? I'll give you a moment. So on the talent panel, which is like your starting class talent panel, Bestial Wrath, you learn at level 34. But Bestial Wrath rank 2, you learn at level 23. Is there anyone else? Is there a problem with that, maybe? So that is the long and short of that. Stuff is not hooked up yet for the hunter overall. Because A, you're missing 4 extra ranks of leveling up through the Shadowlands, and B, certain things like that don't work. But to continue on here, there is a pretty awesome pet attack AI quality of life improvement I was talking to, I poked Azertharian before I started the show today, but he is doing his testing a little later on. Let me see here. It's not even on the freaking bar, is it? There we go. There's Claw. Right now, and shout out to Putro for coming out and hanging out on the stream today and giving me a whole bunch of notes as well. But yeah, Azertharian gave me two different hunters, Tarlo and Putro, that do a lot of stuff for the hunter community now as well. But he confirmed this is a thing. I don't know if this is a big deal, but a lot of hunters, you maybe listening right now included, are used to macroing your pet attacks, your basic pet attack, claw, smack, etc., into every one of your abilities, almost every one of your abilities. Because there is this latency that happens with your pet's queued ability, which seems to has been fixed. So you may not need to have a macro for all of your abilities due to the server latency, ping, code priority, checklist, whatever behind the scenes for claw and bite from firing when it's ready. This only ever, I was told, amounts to a rather small increase in overall throughput, and obviously is kind of like what face. But as you see here, whenever claw comes right back off cooldown, it casts again. On live, there is a noticeable half a second or so where it'll be ready, it won't fire, and then it fires. And this is now, as you can see here, looks pretty fixed, which is very helpful for target swapping and obviously your pet utilizing their core extra source of damage, roughly 20 or so % of their overall damage in their basic ability, and it actually freaking works. It's probably more than that depending on your talent layout, but that is a very nice improvement to Beast Mastery hunters. As I said before, make sure you have the WoW Petopia, bookmarked or so to see if anything changes with spirit beasts. The other thing I'm going to talk about, but I'm not going to show off, so I'm not going to go get my pet killed real quick. Revive pet is definitely a stinging point. If your pet dies, to revive your pet right now, it's 2.5 seconds. The instant res pet is still a passive on some pets that are in the wild. Again, check WoW Petopia for those kind of different family abilities. But the default res on your pet is 6 seconds, up from 2.5. Same as Warlocks. It's obviously a PvP change and nerf, but we'll see if that sticks, because that's pretty rough. BM Hunter also has a minus 6% aura currently in BFA that's been zeroed out. So there aren't many buffs in the database for Beast Mastery, but everything essentially has been buffed by 6% across the board, because you're not nerfed by 6% anymore. Also, a little bit of nice quality of life improvement is pack tactics. So your baseline focus regen for a hunter is 5 per second before any haste shenanigans. Pack tactics now at least shows you earn this level 11, that you have 100% more passive focus regen, taking that 5 to 10. And then I would assume the same way rogues work, every 10% haste is 1 more focus per second. But on that note, Cobra Shot lost its cost reduction rank 2. Cobra Shot is now 45 focus baseline. There is a rank 2 for this, where it gains 100% more damage. So again, there's no other rank upgrades for this, so it could still come back to be 35. 45, I can say, is a little expensive. But also, I only have 18% haste, which is a bit low. And obviously things are going to change with scaling and gear therein. And obviously the big thing is that my crit is pretty low. Crit is a big stat for Beast Mastery because of Wild Call. Auto shot crits have that 40% chance to reset the cooldown of Barb Shot. So more auto shots that crit, and the faster you auto shot, the more chances you have to reset your Barb Shot for Barb Shot uptime. And all that kind of works out with the whole frenzy effect for giving not only you focus, but also your pet attack speed. Standard Beast Mastery stuff, that little plate you juggle all the time. Now, talent-oriented stuff. We're going to open with not much changed here. What unfortunately still exists, if you are aware of this, or if you're not aware of this, is the Animal Companion shenanigans. And I have seems like a half a page on this, but to summarize, there is still the minus 35% pet damage hidden aura to compensate for having 2 pets active. So to show you that this is still in effect, and if you are unaware of what this is, I have 2 pets out right now. The pet that gets summoned is obviously the first one in your stable. If I hit kill command, we'll hit a couple kill commands here real quick just to get 2 numbers in the chat box here, and then we'll pull them back. So the kill command there you saw, 296, 297, 296, 296. Sure, right? That's like 600 damage. It's split between the 2 pets. This pet has a basic attack, the claw ability. The Animal Companion does not. So it's already doing less damage in the first place. However, I'll let this pet fade away real quick here. See you later, Foxy. Anyhow you want to... Okay. So again, 300 damage. 456 damage. And again, 456 damage. The hidden aura that is not communicated to players is very frustrating because it also impacts the new Spitting Cobra because it's an additional pet. When you have more than 1 pet, in this case, Animal Companion giving you 2, it nerfs Spitting Cobra as well. And again, like the AC pet doesn't have a basic ability, so it's a DPS loss beyond that. And it's a bit of a DPS scaling loss for other things like Aspect of the Beast, because this buffs your pet basic attack ability, but the AC companion, the Animal Companion doesn't even have that ability for them to use. And then the new talent down here, Bloodshed, is essentially a super barbed shot where you command your pet to tear into the target, dealing an additional bleed damage over 18 seconds and making that target take 15% more damage from your pet. The Animal Companion pet does not do this, nor does it benefit from the damage, and you're already nerfing your main pet's damage from having Animal Companion out, so you gain less benefit from Bloodshed, which I think is a pretty cool talent option. Instead of an extra desynced super barbed shot where you can sync or desync it with Bestial Wrath, you have like an extra little burn window for focused target priority damage, where you can obviously still put up Beast Cleave and AoE around it, but you're still doing more damage to that one target on top of your Hunter's Mark, allowing you to funnel more damage into that main target, right? Like, it has a place. It just doesn't work because of how much Animal Companion is just broken fundamentally behind the scenes. So that is a bit of what will umbrella the rest of this discussion here. Is AoE caps. Let's go into that one real quick. Stomp, no AoE cap. Barrage has an 8 target per like wave it picks targets. So it just means that Barrage doesn't hit every single target every single time, up to 8. Beyond 8, of course, you might see some where it only hits, you know, this target once or twice instead of multiple times if you're beyond the 8 targets. Stampede was buffed. It has a 2-minute cooldown, down from 3, and no target cap in Stampede either. There's no Stampede shenanigans that we could talk about or find with Animal Companion, but I've spoke my piece on that, and if you are a Hunter main that understands this, it is still baffling, even to me, who doesn't play Hunter. Multi-shot, if I can find it, is 5 targets now, not all. And so is Beast Cleave. It is 5 nearby. Same 75% damage for 4 seconds. Basically means you multi-shot 2 abilities, multi-shot 2 abilities kind of deal. But these are both capped at 5. And again, Stomp has nothing, but obviously deals that attack power based damage and is reduced by armor. Barrage, Stampede. Pretty good there. Nothing else has any AoE cap orientation things, and I'm not going over Covenant things because it's not part of the first pass for me. But overall, BM plays like Beastmaster Hunter. It works. You sort of rotate your abilities. You keep your frenzy stacks as high as you can, depending on if you get crit. I only have one with the pack currently, so I might not get any more crits here. I was running Thrill of the Hunt as well inside as a Spitting Cobra. Which brings me to the next little bug. Spitting Cobra is still broken. It only has a 25-yard range, and it's completely immobile when it's summoned, so if you're too far away from the target, it won't actually shoot anything, and it sits here doing increased damage and does nothing else. So it was moved up here to compete with Oracle the Hunt and Murder of Crows, and functionally, it is a pretty awesome talent because it does have a scaling quotient. The better your gear gets, the potentially better that your gear works with one with the pack, and in more haste, more crit, and how maybe some RNG evolved, of course, which you can react to and not. Spitting Cobra has it can get stronger with you as you get stronger kind of thing, because it's sort of an echoed after effect after you hit Bestial Wrath. You get the Cobra afterwards, so to keep rolling the damage, so not all your damage just plummets. But it's 25-yard spit, and it doesn't move. It's obviously a bug, but I was told it's been like this since it was even put in the game. So shrug. Don't tell you on that one. But Venomous Bite is gone. Scent of Blood has been reworked to give you 2 charges of Barbed Shot when you use it. This is a bit of a trap talent right now. So Barbed Shot gives you cooldown reduction when you cast it for Bestial Wrath. But if you were to put Bestial Wrath up without using Barbed Shots to get the cooldown reduction, then you lose this talent. But if you're to put 2 Barbed Shots up and then Bestial Wrath, and then you get these 2, you've lost the previous cooldown reduction because you had to have... It just should work. There's an Azerite trait right now you have in BFA called... I can't find it. Primal Instincts. They could easily fix Scent of Blood by maybe making your Bestial Wrath shoot 1 charge for free of Barbed Shot and gives you 1 charge back, or it just puts it on Aspect of the Wild. Aspect of the Wild is still on the GCD, which is kind of the weird one still. Bestial Wrath still is as well, but that one your pet is already going in, already attacking, so that one kind of makes sense. But Scent of Blood has some problems. Chimera Shot's still kind of weird. It's really good early, then it kind of falls off late. Kind of the same thing with like Dire Beast being good early and kind of falls off late, because it doesn't have any haste scaling. If you could summon Dire Beast faster with haste scaling, that could be a thing. But it really comes down to the fact that Scent of Blood could be really nice, because you could go like a Killer Cobra, Spitting Cobra, Scent of Blood build if Scent of Blood worked on Aspect of the Wild, because then you could line that up with like really big Bestial Wraths, where you could pull the cooldown of Bestial Wrath down, have 1 charge of Barbed Shot banked, hit Bestial Wrath, Barbed Shot, you get your Scent of Blood, you Aspect of the Wild to get your 2 charges of Barbed Shot back, then you roll 1 more charge of Barbed Shot for the additional energy regeneration, and then you can Killer Cobra spam. You can Cobra Shot, Kill Command, Cobra Shot, Kill Command, right? Another Barbed Shot comes in there, right? Keep the energy flow going, or the focus regen going, sorry, and then immediately go back into getting a big Spitting Cobra. And that will scale with your gear, because as you get more crits baseline to reset passively beforehand or leading into this window, or because you don't have one with the pack or Thrill of the Hunt propping that up, these are both like they could be really strong late game if this one didn't work so awkwardly right now. And I think that's about it. The only other thing to show up real quick here is that Aspect of the Beast has been buffed to be 30% damage and healing from your pet's abilities. Which again, I'm not going to harp on it too much more. Animal Companion with Aspect of the Beast is a anti-synergy, because you're nerfing your pets to then try to buff only one of them, because your second one again doesn't even have an ability. But the big thing here is that now your Spirit Mend, which is your heal on your Spirit Beast, on top of also having Survival of the Fittest, which is your little all damage taken reduction shield. Your heal is going to be stronger for more survivability. Your endurance training is going to go up a little bit, 2% more for more stamina. And again, now at least it syncs with this. So the Tenacity Spirit Beast pets for Beast Mastery Hunters are going to be pretty locked in for most end game oriented content. Tenacity pets being for your transmog runs because of the movement speed. And then your Ferocity pets for soloing, for tanking, because they can help heal themselves. And they, there's a couple of Tenacity pets though that have some really, really strong tanking potential, where the stone beasts or stone hounds or whatever the new family school's called has like an incredible 2-minute cooldown, like shield wall, last stand, heal that's built in for soloing. but I've been told today that most of the time you take the additional leech, the 15% leech with Aspect of the Beast on a ferocity pet, so they'll heal themselves as you heal them as well with Mend Pet. But for endgame content now, this is really strong, because this is really strong. This is stronger. This gets stronger, right? Good stuff. Also really good to have an extra utility in a little mini shield wall there, on top of Turtle being kind of weird, and obviously Exhilaration with natural mending being another, you know, little thing you can do. But that is the Beast Mastery Hunter. This is ridiculous. This is and this is broken. But everything else is pretty much there. The quality of life for your pet attack is looking like a good improvement. But let me know what your thoughts are down below on the Beast Mastery Hunter. If you play one, if you're thinking about playing one, and what you might see as your, you know, rank 2, 3, 4s, whatever, for your 4 abilities that you don't have in the spellbook yet. You can support what I do here on the internet by checking out my merch link down below for my Design by Human store. To pick yourself up any designs from any of the artists that I've worked with over the long years. We've got some more designs in the future, but this is by Fabelina. Fabelina's also done a bunch of the little final bosses. If you want like a little Fire Lord, oh, look at he's so cute. But there's also a whole bunch more down there. Nothing is hunter themed yet, but maybe we could do like an Illyria one. I don't know. Maybe we could do something like that. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the hunter, and we'll keep this ball rolling. Thank you very much for watching and or listening, and I'll see you all in the next hunter episode. Survival, oh boy, is up next.